it works. Oh my gosh. So you have no idea how nice this feels to finally be able to properly do things. Especially when it comes to what's about to be happening in like a week or two from now. Because if I can get the Switch, if I can get my Nintendo Switch going up on all of this, I could start recording some other games as well. My library of games could expand, holy. Which I've done. I did like one episode of Smash Brothers on my previous channel, and I accidentally left the launch rate on ×2, which I don't even think I noticed until the end of the video. Spoiler alert, it makes matches a lot shorter. Strange, isn't it? Anyway, I am here. Welcome back to the forest. We are going to be chilling, just making my house. That is literally all I want to do in this episode. I just want to make my house. I just want a house. Oh, there's so much lag. Okay, there we go. So I just need 70 logs for the house. This sensitivity is not near as high as it should be. Hang on. Why? Okay, never mind, I guess. I'll just leave it as is. There. I remember when I used to think that sensitivity was too fast. And now that's basically the only sensitivity I have. Doing the power deck makes no difference. That's great, okay. So, obviously no one saw my community post, but if you somehow did by the time this video is out, which is hopefully going to be tonight, then you should know that I am going to be focusing on family life for a little bit. Just for a smidge bit. A week or two at max. Just to make sure that my family's not like going insane and whatnot. Because I kind of view myself as the strongest member of my family, which might be egotistical, but it's just from what I think. Doesn't mean it's true. So the basic of it is, it's as the eldest, as the firstborn son, it should be my job to, you know, keep the family intact and all. Because after all, it is, you know, it's usually the oldest man's job, but I guess I could say he sort of just isn't always the most energetic. Works a job he hates, all that. So it's pretty much as you think. So he's not always 100% of the way there. Not to say he isn't there at all, but life is especially tiring for him. Granted, the life that he lives. So he's not always fully there for everyone. And I should be there anyway. It shouldn't have to be just him, because that's the point of the firstborn son anyway. And I'm pretty much to the age where I would be considered a man by most retrospects about like 50 to 100 years ago. So I should take some of the man of the household responsibilities onto myself as well. Because ensuring that my family lives happily is kind of what's most important to me right now, because I've realized that it also takes some of my stuff anyway, so I might as well. Like, it tanks on my mental health, seeing people miserable within my own household. So I realized that just do a little tidbit real quick and simply just do some things around the house that would make it better for everyone. It doesn't have to be anything real complicated, just mostly do my job and also become better at socializing with them are the main two things. Just do what I'm supposed to, and then also try and talk with them more, learn more about them, all that, you know. Because if my gains are slowed, not like specifically gym gains, but I guess those two, if those are slowed down from me having a house, living in a household that's like kind of, you know, not very fun to live in, then it's my responsibility to help make that better anyway. So I'll just be a little bit unavailable for... I won't be posting as often as I've been hyping up for the next couple weeks. Also, my schedule has been mostly figured out. Hooray. I'm gonna have a bit less time at the gym now. Not a whole lot less time, but a bit less time, because there's not as much point in working out so much if I'm not as in high of a calorie deficit or surplus that I want to be in. So there's less point to doing that. Also, because it's not my primary focus right now, I'll just kind of let it build up strength as it goes along, whilst I focus on this as my priority. And then once this channel starts skyrocketing, or, you know, at least growing, I don't assume it'll skyrocket, because I don't come from a super special background or anything. But once it starts growing, at the very least, I can, and once school is out and I have more free time to focus on things that aren't school, which is like 8 hours of the day, then I'll have a lot more to do in terms of at least being able to put my critical thinking skills to things outside of the school sort of thing. I don't know, I'm so bad at talking while I'm just chopping down trees in a sunset area environment. But yeah, you probably get at least somewhat of what I'm trying to say. During like breaks and stuff, gym will be more of a focus. But right now, I want my career to be my focus. What has made me realize that it should be my career and not gym, or at least like not mainly family right now? Money holds my family back in a lot of ways. Especially the beliefs that they have around money. And if I could remove some of those early on, then I could save myself a lot of the grief that my family goes through now. Of course, I'm not gonna get super rich in just like 5 years. I'm starting from pretty much scratch. A kid who has only somewhat been uploading for the past like year or two, and has been very inconsistently uploading for the past 5 years. But the original channel never saw any real growth. So I hardly even count it as like a continuing on type thing, because there's not much to continue off of. The only thing that there really was on that channel was just 30 subscribers, and that was it. And the majority of them were friends. Like almost none of them were people that I didn't know. Because you had my sister, you had family members that I just logged into their YouTube accounts and subscribed to them, because you know how kid logic is. We think that We think that subscribers are the most important part of the channel. It's not that it's not important, but like it's far from the most important thing. Like first is view count, and then it's reputation, and then like to dislike ratio, and then it's subscriber count. Because the view count goal is way more difficult to hit than the subscriber goal anyway. Because all I have to do is just like say, hey, subscribe at the end of every video, and your chances of subscribing, given that you actually watch my videos regularly, like skyrockets. So all I have to do is just mention it here and there, and then subscribers are pretty much dealt with. Because all I need to be part of the ad revenue partner program thing is like 10,000 subscribers. But it's the same sort of ordeal. I need like, how many views was it? Well, like 1 million in the past year or so? I don't know. I'm not looking too far into it right now because it doesn't really apply to me yet, of course. But it's still very interesting to note how little subscribers matter relative to the views. Of course, 1,000 and 10,000 subscribers is also not as amazing as it used to be. People will just kind of wildly subscribe to anyone that they find mildly interesting. There are just plenty of people like that on YouTube, and there's more than enough for pretty much everyone to get thousands, millions of subscribers. Like, I have a friend who hasn't unsubscribed from anyone that he subscribed to like 3-4 years ago, just because he doesn't use his subscriber tab, so he doesn't feel the need to unsubscribe from everything. So it doesn't really clean anything for him. That's not what to do. If you get my drift. Good old orange soda. So there's that. There's also the fact that there's just a lot of people on YouTube. And of course people view more than they subscribe. But people subscribe a lot. And you can have a dormant account that subscribes to someone and then just never watch videos again, and they would keep that subscriber. They would keep that subscriber regardless. So it doesn't matter whether or not they view any more of their videos, they will keep that subscriber. So like there's also, of course, plenty of people, like you probably know them in the self-improvement space. We usually think of them as like monks and stuff. And people that pretty much just go off the grid completely and disappear without a trace because they never made any content, but they still had tons of people they were subscribed to by the time that they had logged off. So you got people like that. You have other people that, you know, just eventually life catches up to them and they pass away. Their accounts usually don't get gone through and just unsubscribe from everything that they were subscribed to. 95% of the time, their accounts are just going to become inactive and dormant. Their accounts aren't going to become anything like super special or anything. They'll just be sitting there, the remnants being a remnant of a person who is long lost. Like this goes for legends as well, people who went through a life subscribing to people, having a big influence on the space, and then they left and they still were subscribed to all those people. So those subscriptions didn't leave either. And of course, a channel isn't making any money. This is the most obvious part. The channel isn't making money just based on subscriber count alone. Yes, you do need those 10,000 subscribers to get to the point where you can start making money off of AdSense. But you don't actually make money off of subscriber count alone. Like, you don't make money off of new subscribers. You don't make it off of old subscribers that have stayed around for a while, it's entirely based on how many people view your video, because if someone views your video, then an ad plays. People don't get an ad for subscribing to your channel. There's no pop-up ads for that. So obviously you aren't going to get any direct revenue from that specifically. It can help you, having a bigger subscriber count definitely helps you reach out to more people. Because like more people will have their stuff recommended on your stuff recommended on their feed and whatnot. But they can still just not watch those videos. I have plenty of people that I'm subscribed to that I only watch like once in a blue moon, either because they don't tend to interest me as much anymore, but I still want to watch them, or just because they haven't uploaded anything that I find particularly interesting recently. Which I've unsubscribed from a lot of those type people, but not even close to all of them. I also just noticed that this is built into the wall. I didn't get notice of that beforehand. It's going to be all kinds of screwed up when I actually generate it in. So view count matters way more. I don't remember where I was originally coming from with this. I think it had something to do with me bringing up statistics and how I'm not paying attention to them yet. I don't know. I go on rants very easy. This is why I've had to start scripting the self-improvement and talking videos. Because if there's not a script for it, I'm just going to go on rants like these where I don't even remember what I was initially talking about. At least previously, rants are less dangerous. Like with a script, because then I can at least like try and wrap the rant back into the topic. Or at the very least I can remember what I was talking about, but I can't remember what I was talking about that brought into this. I know I initially started with talking about what I'm going to be doing for a while, but that doesn't give me any connections as to what I was actually doing. So I don't know. It's just why I have to do that. I mean, maybe that's why me being able to stream would be real fun, because it would be uncut, uncensored. Not that this isn't right now, of course. Like, the closest that you'll see to a cut or a censor is just like having some minor editing and adding an intro and outro to it. If that. I have never really felt the need to have an outro or intro specifically just because I made a video. Nor have I actually figured out an outro that I'll say at the end of each video either. It's more just me sort of winging it right now until I get to something that I like. I think that's what all channels mostly start out as. Just kind of that's what all the good channels start out with anyway. Just throwing content out to the wind and just not only seeing what sticks, but seeing what they like to make. And I do enjoy making these. Partly because I enjoy talking to myself so much. Oh, so this does pause the game. But also because this is something that I've wanted to do since I was young. And no matter how much Hamza I watch, it's not a desire that I've been able to displace in any sort of fashion. Which is strange, because even for a short moment, video games were something that became distasteful to me during a period when I was watching enough Hamza. So clearly this has been something that I want to do. Like, even with or without video games, YouTube is something that I want to do. And also, because, I mean, you see these people. You see the money that they make off of YouTube alone. Being a social media person is like the biggest thing that you can become at the moment. Because you impact a lot of people. And like, you have people like Hamza who start their channel out at the age of like, I think it was 21 or something, and then in the matter of like half a decade they become a millionaire. Like, if that's not the definition of inspiring, I don't know what I would be able to put there. Because clearly it's going to be next level big if it's all, you know, if people are going to make it seem so easy. It's going to be something that a lot of people will want to do. And that's especially happening in the self-improvement space. There's like hundreds of self-improvement channels popping up each month at least. And they're all not very different from each other. I'm only subscribed to one other one that's like Hamza outside of himself. And that's just because I was following his content for a while before that. Because he made like short, somewhat dopamine-free content where he just sat there and, you know, talked. Like most non-dopamine fueled videos should be. I, of course, think there's still a time and a place for dopamine-rich activities like video games. But it's definitely not something that you should have a lot of, and that's why I kind of did that. Unfortunately, his videos haven't really helped me focus a whole lot, because they're still very short, so it's just like, you know, it's a 5 to 10 minute video now. He used to make like 30-second long content, but now it's up a bit. I think his longest video on his current channel is probably his money guide, which is like 25 minutes long. I haven't watched it, I just know it's the longest on his channel. I only might watch it just based off of the fact that it's, you know, it's knowledge and I like learning. Especially about more important stuff like this. Okay, that doesn't feel energy. Making money is probably one of the most important things you'll do in your life, because it provides for your family. It provides for your family, it provides for yourself, it provides for your future kids, it provides for your previous parents, and it does a lot in this economy. Because of course it does. That's how money's worked for a while. And anyone that's ever tried to change, like, you know, how important money is to the economy has failed. You don't have to look any farther than how many people were killed in the whole communist thing. Just throughout the Cold War alone. Like, clearly it doesn't work. Trying to change money to something else is something that you're obviously not supposed to do. People, of course, keep trying to do it because people don't like the idea of being forced to, you know, have to make your like thousands just in order to survive, because it seems like a lot, and it's not that it isn't. It's just more that people really overcomplicate the process more than they need to, from what I've seen. Because everything that I've done so far, making this channel and just starting it out has been one of the easiest things I've done. It's just a matter of hooking up everything and getting into the mood. Once the camera starts rolling, it's easier than breathing. So I have no reason not to do this channel anyway. You could argue that it like fills the channel up with clutter or whatever. You know, like future me will have to go through videos and get rid of the bad ones. I don't really think that's the case though. I think keeping the full journey here as it was intended is probably what's best. I have never really felt the whole clutter on your channel is a bad thing. At least like to the extent of it being a bad thing forever. Because you can easily just make a ton of like kind of trashy garbage videos in your early years of YouTube, and then you can go into it later. And then as you progress, you can start going into it and making good videos, but keep those old videos up as like just an archive sort of thing. And also to let people see how you started in the first place. Because I think it's very cool to look back on people's like very old videos and see how far they've come. I don't do it very often, of course, because it's not like I have much reason to do it. Damn, I gotta hurry this up. But it's cool to look back and see how far people have come. I didn't expect this to be so long. This recording's about to hit 30 minutes, so I'm just gonna hurry up. You know what, screw it. I'll just save this for later. It's nice to have something to do, right? It's always nice. So, thank you guys for watching and just listening to me rant. It's been very nice to just sit here and talk. Next time we'll probably get back into high level of action, but you know, it's nice to just sit here and chill every so often and just enjoy the peacefulness that is this game whenever there aren't bloodthirsty cannibals trying to eat you. Like, if you take away all the enemies from the game, this game is just a very peaceful survival simulator, which I kind of like for these style of videos. Yeah, it's very nice. Alright, next video will probably be more action-packed though, so if you like these kind of videos where I just sit here and talk, don't worry, I will definitely make more. It's just not at the moment, because I still need to do more stuff. I want to clear more parts of this game, like grab the chainsaw and all that, so that I can start being up a higher level. I want to adventure up into the mountains to get boar skin, do all that kind of stuff. So yeah, look forward to it, because this will be a full series. 7 Days to Die will come eventually as well, once my PlayStation can recognize that I have the license for that. Eventually. Bye guys.